sent that I've been sent, payments are in.
Okay, have a seat and I'll be right with you, okay? Have a seat. Now, what did you need help with?
Sergeant Lee Perry over at headquarters sent me. He said to let you know that I need to talk to the detective, and I'll be waiting here in the lobby.
What detective?
Any detective on duty right now.
Okay.
It's for the purposes of following up on a crime report.
Okay, and you said Sergeant Lee?
Yeah, Sergeant Lee Perry over at the downtown headquarters station.
What is your name?
Henry, E-N-R-I.
And your last name?
Marini, M-A-R-I-N-I. Like marine, but with an I at the end instead of the E.
M-A-R-I.
N-I. Yeah.
I?
Yep, and then E-N-R-I is the first name, so no
Yeah,
Y.
E-N-R-I.
Yeah, yeah.
And you said any detective?
Any detective on duty today, yeah.
Okay, do you want to just write down briefly, like, so I can get you to the right detective, or no?
He didn't give me the name. He just said, go ask whoever's on duty today and whoever the detective is on duty today that's available.
I'll be right back, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll wait on the chair.
You're welcome.
So we're just waiting right now for whoever the watch commander is to get out a detective out here to file this as a crime report and get that incident number. I'm waiting on the CF numbers from Sergeant Lee Perry. I haven't gotten the CF numbers yet. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting on, Haggis. I gotta have them take the crime report here, get my incident number, and then I need to wait for Sergeant Lee Perry of earlier this week to hand over the CF numbers.
His name is in the funeral guy? What's his name? Oh, the guy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the suspect.
And then that'll be everything on the LAPD side. And then I gotta head over to the senator's office. And I got copies for them too.
Print my first name, last name, sign.
And you can put the date, today is 6/5, and your phone.
And then I gotta go over
And I'll
to
give you a copy of this.
the FBI field office, and I got copies for them too.
And then you have the contact?
So this is Central Division that we're in right now.
Oh, you want to take a picture? Okay.
This is the Central Division station.
Wallet. This one. Is it more?
Central Division oversees the downtown area, which is where Hydee works in. So
Can I still have the other one?
basically the way it works is each of the community stations is technically where they would be the ones to assign a resource to investigate. In this case, since the perpetrator is a city official who's employed in the downtown area, the jurisdiction falls to Central Division, which is right in the heart of Skid Row. So that's who needs to take it.
I'll be with you in just a minute.
Oh, no. I'm waiting for the thing. For you.
Oh, okay, no. You're ready? Sorry. Okay, where's my, sir?
then they'll give me an incident number, and then who knows what'll happen afterwards, but I just want to make sure they give me the incident number. That's my part done. Also, I gotta show you guys the outside, because ain't nobody really showing the heart of downtown on the regular day. It looks terrible outside, man. I ride here around a bunch, and I just never videotaped, but I gotta show you guys how it is outside. You're not gonna believe it. It's ridiculous. It's like it's a totally different world.
Do they got a number up there? Because sometimes you get up there and yeah.
So for those just joining, I just gotta file this with Central Division. They're the ones to officially take the crime report. Headquarters told me they'll only take the officer complaints. So OIG has this though, the city has this. The only agencies that don't have this are the senator's office and the FBI. But they'll go ahead and get that too. Now we wait for like 2 hours. This is the not fun part. So again, for those of you that don't know what's going on, we're at Central Division Station, Central Division LAPD Station. I have to file my crime report here, and
Yeah, because I have to submit it
yeah.
to the state. The state will review and then let me know. No,
So downtown headquarters said they'll only take the officer complaints, but they said go talk to Central Division for the filing of the actual crime report. And then once the crime report gets filed, they'll give me an incident number. I'll get the detective's serial number, and
He here no more. He transferred over there.
Okay, tomorrow I have it.
okay.
Oh,
Because I called the manager and he said yes. Yeah, he said that, but I need to give him
my day's all right, man. It just sucks doing all this nonsense. But for those of you that don't know, this is a crime report on Hydee Feldstein Soto, for who's the city attorney of Los Angeles, for colluding with Scientology to selectively and maliciously prosecute criminally activists that speak out and criticize Scientology. And basically, she's got a long-standing pattern of doing this. She's done it to other people that have criticized her political allies. She's done it to Richie Sergienko. She's fired her top prosecutor, Michelle McGinnis, who is the head of her criminal prosecution branch. Michelle was a deputy city attorney for like 31 and a half years, I believe. She went through a grueling 4-round interview of consideration for the head of the criminal prosecution branch. There's about, I think, 5 other people who Hydee was considering. She chose Michelle McGinnis because of her credibility, her tenure, her skills and competency. And so then she decided to lay off without any, well, fire, I should say, terminate Michelle McGinnis without any such notice. Uh, and basically came up with a whole bunch of nonsense replies like Michelle is a bad employee when Hydee herself hired her for the head of the branch. And it's because Michelle spoke up about the year-long issue that has been going on with Heidi's tenure of selectively prosecuting people frivolously. And there you go. That be over there screaming on board the car. I'm talking about that lady, that older black woman. She out here trying to replace everybody trying to get this Charlie. She's the one that sits on her. And shit. I can't believe she followed Anthony all the way to the town. She followed Anthony all the way to the town. I'll wait 2 hours if I have to.
So what they need.
Can you guys see my daughter? Don't let her go with no one.
What your question is, because you have my
Yep, so it's a crime report against a city official.
city official?
Correct. I have the entire complaint as well written out, so I'm happy to hand that. I've got dozens of copies. I don't need it on my person. I'm happy to hand it off to you. And like I said, I'm happy to wait here for a detective. If it needs to be 2 hours, I'll happily wait the whole 2 hours.
Okay, and it's, what is it?
Yep. So it's for the 1.5-year-long pattern of selective and malicious prosecution. That's the primary crime. There's secondary charges that I won't file for consideration, but that is the primary crime.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yep.
Zero out there, man. Alright, are they here?
Check, looks like usually they are.
June 5th. Is that Cinco de Mayo right there? No, that's June. Oh, darn it. Of all the days, they close today.
Yeah, check tomorrow.
Goodness. This is horrible. Ugh.
Maybe tomorrow they'll be open.
No. You can't give me a face sheet, can you?
For what?
For this guy? Traffic.
Now we wait.
I think that's when the first case sheet got filed a lawsuit against the driver.
No,
Now we wait.
Oh, just the first two pages, just the first page.
what I
There it
need
is.
reference number, if you love it. And you have to pay for it when you report.
Where?
Records, you should have to. So I think before.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But I always come get it from him. Okay. But he's not here right now.
Yeah, but for anything related to police reports, like that, you have to see records.
Okay, do you have her letters and email?
So that's the one.
But I'm gonna come check in.
And I'll just go on babbling about Hydee yet again, so we'll just reiterate, all right? So, according to the Michelle McGinnis case, Hydee has repeatedly made comments internally talking about how they don't prosecute corporate defendants. It's not something they do because really there's special interest she has with developers. Hydee comes from a background of banking. She's been a banking lawyer for her entire career. And according to some of the records from the Michelle McGinnis case, one of the accounting firms that she worked for as a attorney for was Arthur Anderson. That firm was the same accounting company used by the Enron Corporation during the time that Enron was going and committing wide-scale fraud. So that's the supposed background of Hydee Feldstein Soto. There's no coincidence at all that she's now leading the city attorney's office of Los Angeles. You don't just get the top level gangster position without doing some crazy shit. There's another interesting case with Hydee Feldstein Soto, particularly her divorce case, where her divorce case, she was sanctioned about $250,000 for maliciously litigating against her husband during her divorce. She filed over 400 frivolous subpoenas that were rejected. It ended up being that divorce case that is how we all know about her permanent ban from all Citibank locations on planet Earth. And that is how somehow, some way, because of course Hydee, somehow, you know, if there was ever a way, Hydee would figure it out. She figured out on how to make herself be banned from the very industry that she has worked her entire life in. So the divorce is an absolute just nightmare. I'm honestly surprised at how that guy even survived. So some of the things that happened in her divorce, she took money away from the community fund at the time that the divorce proceedings were going on, as well as even after a court order was issued telling her and ordering her that she cannot touch any of that money. She was withdrawing money from all sorts of other shared assets, and she was basically just burning through money that was not hers to burn through, and the court particularly told her that she can't touch, but she did it anyway. So all of this, right, all of this 400 plus subpoenas, I believe it was about 480 if I remember correctly, and the over 7 years that this divorce spanned. And keep in mind, these are people that have no children together, and it normally is a very clean cut for people that have no kids. And particularly in this case, you would imagine where both of them come from the banking industry, should have been a very straightforward case, but she's vindictive, and she put that guy through the ringer. Her ex-husband's name's Peter Gregora, and yeah, she bled him dry. I mean, this guy, because of the divorce proceedings, was forced to take penalties on his retirement accounts, where he was supposed to start withdrawing after he reached a particular age. According to the plan, he couldn't do so as a result of the court proceedings. And so he was in a extremely lose-lose situation. He was the one that did file for the divorce. So that's the story of Hydee Feldstein Soto, an incredibly vindictive person that, you know, her malice knows no bounds. And so when you get into some of these situations, you got to understand who you're going up against. You know, the whole start to all this. Yep. Okay. No problem. So yeah, I mean, you got to know who you're dealing with, and the worst part about all this is that there's not really much on public exposure against Hydee. The most that people have talked about is her banning from Citibank, but not many people have covered all this other malicious prosecution that she's had, you know, of her own deputy that she fired, of activists that speak out against her political supporters. And the best part is that Hydee miserably failed in my instance because I recorded her, okay? I recorded her at a public event where she admitted that she knew my case was totally bogus and frivolous and it was never a priority. And she admitted on a recording that she had always known. At worst, it would have gone to diversion. And so that's the thing with Hydee. That's where she royally messed up. And she wasn't expecting it. I was at the Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association public meeting where she was invited to speak as a keynote panelist, and she was video recorded, and they have it on her YouTube channel. I was there that day. It was a public meeting. I recorded a conversation I had where I didn't even actually ask her about myself. I actually began the conversation talking about Audit LA and this one curly-haired activist that she hangs around with. And then eventually she just started spilling the beans, just had total verbal diarrhea. And that's how she landed herself in hot water. She has a special prosecutor over at the state bar assigned to investigating her. She's gonna have a crime report here. The entire city council members are on alert with her. The mayor is on alert with her. Her career and reputation after this is completely butchered by her own doing. Worse than it was already before. I'm just making sure that this gets on official government records so that there's no question as to, did I follow through or not? That's all this is. I don't expect them to do anything. I just expect them to take the filings and add it to the overwhelming stack of other filings that they have against Hydee, I'm sure. We'll see if it's enough to push action against her, but really the thing with Hydee is that the things she's gotten away with so far have been particularly all of the nonsense with allowing the homelessness fraud programs to go on for years. And you add this onto her rap sheet, and it becomes evident that, she's not a person of integrity. She's not an honest person. It's in the public sphere now. And again, it's all by her own doing. It's all by her own doing. She has nobody to blame but herself. And she continues to dig an even worse situation for herself. And, the whole idea, right, with strategy is timing and surprise. And so that whole going to blue and making myself look like an idiot, that was, of course, of course that was strategy. Of course, make yourself look like a moron, see what the government does, and then you respond accordingly in a competent and smart manner. See what criminal defense firms do in the area when a situation like this arises. They're all trash, frankly. They're all trash. None of them will ever stick up to any of the frivolous prosecution of the government. And so that was the whole thing. And, I had to see it for myself too. I had to personally experience it to see and have a legitimate claim. And it's true. Criminal defense lawyers in LA are absolute hot dog water. Absolute hot dog water in LA. There are none of them will stand up to frivolous prosecution. They won't, because it'll cut them from any of the cases that the city feeds them and essentially stop the vicious cycle of frivolous cases being prosecuted, them getting their cut with attorney's fees. They're not going to do it. It's not unique to my case. It's just a systemic problem here. And frankly, it's a big moneymaker to go after the city. There's tons of civil rights suits that you could go after. It's honestly, I'm surprised nobody has tapped into it. But, soon enough, I'll be here. Soon enough, I'll be a licensed attorney and I'll be here. And, this is the kind of stuff that churns people into fanatics of, outing the corruption and then following through with prosecuting the corruption. I mean, this is how it starts, with stupid decisions by people like Hydee, thinking that this is just gonna go away. And it didn't, and it's not, and it never will. So, I mean, the worst part of it all is that it's not even the frivolous prosecution part. Hydee is leaving a legacy behind where she's helping a child trafficking cult. She's doing political favors for Scientology, okay, by filing all these frivolous cases, and that's her real legacy. Okay, that's the real legacy. Hydee Feldstein Soto is a super simp for Scientology. Hydee Soto, the simp for Scientology. Hydee Soto, Scientology simp. That's who Hydee is. That's her legacy. And I'm not the only one. She's done it too. She's done it to Jay, right? Never forget that. She prosecuted Jay frivolously, even after he was arrested on completely frivolous merits. He had to pay for that, right? Those lawyers' fees weren't free. The time and stress definitely wasn't free. The fear it puts into other people to set a precedent, that's a cost too. That's Hydee Feldstein Soto. She did it to Michael. Michael was arrested and held on a completely frivolous arrest for 3 days. Michael had his shoulder popped, and he already had a surgery on his shoulder where he never made contact on an officer, and he had to burn through attorney's fees, where he was basically kidnapped. They had no jurisdiction to hold him for an entire 3 days, and there was an entire gang of officers present that none of them had their body-worn camera footage, or their body-worn cameras, excuse me, and all to beat a charge that should have never been charged in the first place. And that's because Hydee did it. She did it with my case. She did it to Michael. She did it to Jay. Yep, she did it to, I was going to say that too. She's done it to Scott. She's done it to Cameron. She's done it to Danny. I mean, you have over 5 victims of frivolous prosecution, all on incidents that were videotaped by multiple people via multiple angles that clearly show the violators are in fact not the people that were charged, but rather her political allies, which is Scientology. So whoever has a banner company and wants to reach out to me on making this happen, I want, during the election season, I will happily put together funds to pay for it, help pay for it. I want a banner that says something like Hydee Soto, the super simp for Scientology. That's what I want on one of the biggest highways. That reminds me of that one meme where it shows Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other guy, what's his name, Apollo, shaking hands. And on one side it'll be Hydee, and on the other side it'll be Scientology. They shake hands, and then in the middle you can have something like agreeing to traffic kids, aiding and abetting the trafficking of kids. That's her legacy. I will 100% make sure that never gets forgotten. During election season, it's brought up, and people will know. People will know what Hydee has done. The issue is not my 1-count misdemeanor that was acquitted. It's the aiding and abetting and cover-up of child trafficking. That's Hydee's real crime. In addition to the trillions of dollars that have been laundered through the fraud of homelessness programs. Okay, that's Hydee Feldstein Soto's real crimes. The laundering, the aiding and abetting the laundering of money through homelessness programs, and the aiding and abetting and cover-up of child trafficking by prosecuting those that speak out against Scientology. Those are her 2 crimes. And the mechanism through which she does so is, of course, the selective and malicious prosecution. So that's Hydee Feldstein Soto in a nutshell. And I'll keep saying her name. Hydee Feldstein Soto, aiding and abetting Scientology to traffic kids by suppressing the voices of activists that seek to educate the public on Scientology's crimes. That's who you are, Hydee. I know you're watching this. I know your little cronies are watching this. I already have all their handles, but again, none of that is important. The most important part is that this gets filed, it gets talked about, that an incident ID number gets created, and that your chances of any other office are permanently burned. That's the real damage here that you cause yourself. There's no other office you're gonna get into. There's no promotions. You're done. And your deputies, because they tell me a lot of stuff, your deputies are sick and tired of you. Utterly sick and tired. You refuse to prosecute the Wendell case too, Hydee. I haven't forgotten that. You refused to prosecute Wendell. Okay, that was a major slap in all of our faces. You refused to prosecute Wendell. You refused to prosecute the person that violently attacked Chris. You refused to prosecute the bald guy who pulled the knife on people back in November at the info center. You refused to file charges on Lydia Rinaldi for beating up an activist. This is Hydee. This is the story of Hydee Feldstein Soto. You know? So, welcome to your own reality, Hydee. This is all by your own doing. And I've got you on recording, and you know I do. I've got you on recording admitting that this is a frivolous case. Yeah, the Wendell situation shall never be forgotten. That thing haunts me every day. I personally called Hollywood Station. I went direct, and I got a hold of them. I got a hold of a sergeant, and I'll never forget. She was watching the streams, and she knew. There was video evidence submitted, and this dude literally was swinging a sword, okay? Committed indecent exposure in front of a minor deliberately. His property was found behind a gated fence that only if he was escorted personally by Scientology could he have gotten access to it. And it was clear that's the direct link. He's an agent for Scientology. They refused to do a PPA despite clear and convincing evidence, captured on multiple different angles by about a dozen witnesses on scene, and they let him go, even after submitting proof, right? Even after submitting proof that his property was found behind a Scientology-owned house. And Hydee didn't do crap about it. And you know what? I also know that she's instructing her deputies to not prosecute it. So how about that, Hydee? How about the fact that I've talked to many of your deputies, okay, and they have inside sources on the LAPD that tell me exactly what's going on and that you're not going through with it? How about that, Hydee? What's your answer to that? What's your answer to that, Hydee? Because that's what the people want to know, Hydee. Why are you protecting a child predator in that case? And why are you protecting a child trafficking organization? Why are you deciding to go down in such a big crash out? I don't get it. I mean, that's your prerogative, right? It's your life. But you don't get to walk away from the accountability of those heinous actions, Hydee. The law will hold you accountable. And it's utterly disgusting what she's done. Really and truly. You know? So I keep saying, the whole issues of Scientology really have nothing to do with Scientology. It's the lack of prosecution, the lack of investigation, and the only agency / body that could ever prosecute any criminal, of course, is the government. It's the government. Particularly in LA, the way it works is the city attorney's office for prosecuting misdemeanors. Okay. And then, of course, the DA admitting on video that he has many special private interest meetings with members of Scientology, who is also refusing to not prosecute some of these felonies. I mean, Nathan Hawkman's his entire career will also be a legacy of doing the bidding of Scientology. I mean, you're telling me that they have enough time and resources to file these felonies in well under a year, but yet all the other violent attacks that people have gone through in that year, you're not going to prosecute any of them? Get out of here. Get out of here. And same goes on the misdemeanors part. That's it's insane. It's utterly insane. Cam was jailed. Cam went to jail for a week. Josiah went to jail for a week. Danny went to jail for a week. Scott went to jail for a week. Think about that. So that's what Hydee has done. She's ruined many people's lives. Say what you want about personal opinions. I've got many. I don't really care about much of any of that. This is extreme levels of government corruption.
And then I trust on the paperwork. So isn't it any way that you can find my
Right, and I want to be clear about Josiah's case. He got lucky, and it's not unique to that law firm. Criminal defense lawyers in LA will not do jack to help you when it's situations like this, particularly so when it's situations of where the case is clearly frivolous, it's clearly all bogus, and it's clearly orchestrated by the DA's office and or the city attorney's office with colluding with people like Scientology. They're not going to do jack for you. It's just how it works. You got to understand that. It's not unique to my case or Josiah's case or Scott's cases. It's how these lawyers are. Maybe in the sea of crap, there might be about 3 criminal defense lawyers. And you know what? I actually went through with it. And you know the law firm I tried getting a hold of? It was, I forget his last name. I think it's Crump. Benjamin Crump. Ben Crump was the same guy that prosecuted the George Floyd case. And you know what he said for my case on the criminal side and even the civil side? He said, nah, we're good. Nah, we're not going to take it. They don't care. LA lawyers are utter hot dog water, man. With the exception of an extremely small set of people. And even then, most of them are in particular areas of civil law. Vast majority of them do not handle, they don't handle criminal defense. And so, it's how it is. You got to understand what you're going up against. And it's not unique to you either. That's what you got to understand. Criminal defense firms in LA are trash. It's how it is. It truly is how it is. And there's a good reason for that, because if they're not, then it disrupts their money supply. That's why. People don't understand how LA works. They really don't. They really don't. People do not understand what and how LA is and works. They don't. It's very different out here. Like everything you think you know, just throw it straight in the wastebasket. It's not how it works. At all. So, take that for what you will, but that's a fact. That's how it is. Yeah, it's just how it is. And the ones that do some level of, I would say, air quotes, activism are the extremely high-end, high-priced ones that work namely for celebrities. And ain't no way any average person, and even above average person, would be able to afford them. And they're not going to do much effort for you, because who are you? Who are you? And people just don't get it. But that's how it is in LA. It really is. And anybody foolish enough to not want to understand that is in for a real to hurt in LA because the city, it's very easy to get yourself lost in the city. There's millions of people here, and it's very foolish to think that, you know, your name will be that much revered and spread. There's a very, very short memory around LA. It's just how it is. I mean, if you haven't heard some of the stories that Go Puppet talks about and the dirt he has on city council members, Go Puppet gets constantly harassed and his house vandalized by agents of the city all the time. This dude has his water main pressure controller tapped and broken into. He has people breaking into his house and harassing his employees at his law firm. People don't get it. They really don't understand. And so to be anything but diligent and smart and on top of your game and doing the research on who these people in the city are, you're asking for a very bad time. A terribly bad time. An absolutely horrific, nightmarish time. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had to go back and forth and literally in writing, right? I have pressure on my attorney saying, hey, like, we agreed to this, you're gonna do this, and them not doing it. I mean, it's a matter of money, and equal parts they don't care, because it's another client, their life is not impacted, they're still held in the good graces of the city. But once they do take, like cases like mine, but once they do take that one win where it's clearly in the, you know, in the defendant's favor, and they go against the city, well, they're not going to take any other people because they don't care. You know, they don't care because that disrupts other flows of revenue generation for them. It's very naive to think otherwise. So you gotta be smart with this stuff, man. You can't, you know. And then just so people see, so that's Sergeant Perry. Emailed him letting him know that, hey bro, I haven't forgotten you. I'm waiting on my CF numbers, man. Checking my batteries just in case. I'm glad I got my spare battery here too, man. I knew it. I called it. I'm like minimum 2 hours. Somebody said punishment for getting the right results. The answer is yes. Correct. Punishment for getting the right results is the answer. You nailed it. That's exactly what it is. And anybody that doesn't understand or refuses to believe that, they have no business ever getting into LA. Absolutely no business. Zero business.
And then they will check that.
You know, I think a lot of people, particularly through this protest movement, because, you know, Scientology really was just a medium, right? It opened the floodgates to understanding different parts about the city, but a lot of people, I think, have begun the disillusionment process of understanding how utterly effed the city is and how deeply criminal and how blatantly and overtly criminal it all is. So yes, it's exactly what it is. Law firms will get punished for getting the right results. It's why even for money damage suits where there's victims of LAPD or some other, you know, corrupt government agency, you also have to be the perfect victim, right? You have to lose a loved one that's not just a cousin, but it has to be a sibling, right? It has to be a parent. And it has to be the perfect scenario too. It can't just be that you lost them. Okay, you have to lose them where the scene is so grotesque, where they fire, you know, 50 rounds on them, even after they're long dead and apprehended. They fire the 50 rounds on them. And it's a big scene where not only that, but you have to have a large showing of force of other officers also responding on scene. And then and only then do you have a good chance of getting a payout. But your payout will be a settlement. The city will settle, and no lawyer will take it all the way through to get an acknowledgement of the city for what they did is wrong or the cops is wrong. You will get the settlement, and that's the best that any law firm will do for you, and frankly can do for you. That is how it works. Do not expect anything else. And there is a list. There is a list of which lawyers you can use for such things to get that favorable outcome. Any other lawyer, and you will not get such favorable outcome. So welcome to LA. Welcome to LA. And that's why I keep saying, regardless of your opinions on them, I think from everything I know, and from everything on the inside that I know, particularly, I think I deeply worry about what they're gonna do to people like Scott, because he's gonna be in for a real world of hurt, a major, major world of hurt, and that's just what it is. That's, you know, don't shoot the messenger. That's just what it is.
Oh, another thing I forgot. Because last week, this week I carry my backpack, I work for the military, and then I have my laptop, and my iPad, and a passport, and social security number on a bag. And then when I visit Tokyo, I was so hungry and then
So,
tired, and I put my bag.
what a great way to start a Thursday, right? What a great way to go about a Thursday. But at least you guys know, right? At least you guys know. And now that you know, I hope, right? I hope at the very least it equips you with the knowledge to understand the scumbaggery and the competency to navigate through it. And understand that these sort of procedural things are necessary. You have to go through it. You have to. You have to go through each of these stupid little administrative things, and everything else doesn't matter. That's the biggest thing out of all this. Everything else does not matter. The city doesn't care. Other people don't care. None of it matters. It's all stupid. It's all useless. It's all a waste of time. Nobody cares. And that's just what it is.
So you say, mean like you, if I not
Welcome to LA, y'all. And the funniest part is, I had a lot of people tell me that actually lived in the area that, you know,
so what happened to you?
I've been here for such and such time, and I never thought it was this bad. And it's like, that should tell everybody else something. That should tell a lot of people, especially, about how uninformed even LA residents are. You know, it's not enough to say, oh, the government sucks and oh, government bad. You gotta understand the details. The devil's in the details. How do they do it? Who are the actors? When do they do it? Where? That's the important part. You gotta understand the specifics. Because otherwise you're just a fool in water. So and you know, when I was having my interview with Chanel, that's exactly what I talked about. You know, it's not about what's right in LA. It's about, are you part of the city attorney gang or not? And if you're not, then you're gonna have a hell of a bad time.
But do you think the code is really find the thing I said lost? Laptop, basically like most
I've got like a backlog of 50,000 other stuff that people have told me about other areas around LA, and it's just never ending out here, man. Which is a good thing in that regard, because there's always stuff to report on, but it's like, you know, on the same hand, there's not many people doing this kind of investigative and reporting work. And look, you know, they're messing with me. It's all psychological warfare. It's been an hour. It's been an hour waiting. An hour waiting, man. One full hour of waiting. Probably be another hour. I'm just glad I ate. I have snacks. I got water. And I got my battery. So, might as well read what this says. Already got you guys in here. What else we got to do, huh? Alright, so, introduction. This action arises from a pattern of coordinated misconduct, constitutional violations, and abuse of authority by members of the Los Angeles Police Department's Northeast Division, acting in concert with official and agents of the Church of Scientology. Yeah. So, under color of law, defendants, 4 uniformed officers and 1 detective, knowingly and willfully deprived the plaintiff of his civil rights, targeted him for selective prosecution, and facilitated the unlawful obstruction of public space by a private religious organization without legal justification, valid permit, or public accountability. Despite the clear internal LAPD communications acknowledging the illegality of Scientology's actions, LAPD officers repeatedly responded to private off-the-book calls, which is what I'm alleging, from Scientology personnel to intimidate, coerce, and threaten members of the public, particularly the plaintiff, who peacefully opposed and documented Scientology's blockade of the public right-of-way. These officers failed to verify permits, destroyed body-worn camera footage, filed no police reports, and refused to disclose the basis for their interventions. Even worse, Detective Ishmael Peinado later fabricated material, facts, and sworn statements and omitted exculpatory evidence to push for plaintiffs' criminal prosecution, all without supporting evidence of ownership, damages, or criminal conduct. So, plaintiff was the only individual criminally charged out of numerous similarly situated individuals in an apparent act of retaliation and favoritism. The charges were ultimately dropped after the case was exposed as meritless, but not before plaintiffs incurred significant legal costs and endured months of reputational harm and emotional distress. This seeks redress for the constitutional and statutory violations committed by the named officers, and for the failure of the LAPD to uphold its duty of impartial enforcement of the law. And these are the people. So you got Peinado, he's the detective, and then these are the 4 field officers: Galindo, Barajas, Garcia, and Castro. So, and then we date back to the June the 2nd, where Scientology blocked the public right-of-way on Catalina Street by installing the wooden stakes. Is all they then. Danny's live stream actually had it captured very well. And it was actually Danny's video footage that helped save my ass, as well as the tip I had into where Hydee would be at a public event. So, Danny saved my ass. At some point, when I see Danny in person, I'll thank him for saving my life. If you guys thought Hollywood was bad, take a look. It's way worse here. And I know they're in the background right now, you know, farting around with their buddies, giving them all a call, panicking on what they're gonna say and do and how they're gonna say it and in what fashion and all that jazz. Who knows, we might get lucky. We might even see AirTag Al come out here and make an appearance. You never know. You never know. And for those who don't know who AirTag Al is, it's Al Labreda. He's the guy that was sexually harassing. I can't forget her name. I know she was I believe she was Lillian Carranza. There we go. Putting an AirTag to track her movements.
ya luego me bajé para decirle al muchachito que nos había pegado. Le digo, ¿qué pasó? ¿Cómo te fijaste? Y me dijo, yo no te pegué, tú me viniste a pegar. Y él se hizo para atrás y luego no se hizo para enfrente. Le digo, no seas así. Le digo, no seas así.
Lo que se hace es que tomar información de la vez.
Lo mandó un poquito cuando éramos niños.
All right, charging up, man.
Sí, es como que está bien chiquito. El partido del 2024 para mí es un gran reto. Está feo. Me quebró el ojo y me movió el hombre. Me inquieta porque la oficina no me dio ninguna tarjeta.
That's gonna be for me, man. Yes, ma'am, I got it going. Thank you, ma'am.
It'd be interesting to see who we get. I'm pulling up the roster for Central Division. So, by division, we have a breakdown. How many cops? Central has quite a few. Let's see which of these guys we get. There we go. Detectives. So there's quite a number of detectives. That's good. Yeah. Are you one of the detectives?
I am the only one today.
Okay. Hi. My name is Henry. I wanted to file a crime report. It's on a city official, and it's on a city official. So the
City
crime.
official?
Yep, correct. So the crime report is against a city official.
Okay.
The city official in this case is Hydee Feldstein Soto. She is the city attorney of Los Angeles. And the charge that I'm complaining as a primary is selective and malicious prosecution.
Okay.
I have the words written down, so no
have
worries
the
about. I have all the words that I wanted to say written down, so no need to remember all of it. But the long and short of it is that I beat a criminal case where she prosecuted me. She has done a favor for Scientology. I have her on a recording,
Okay.
admitting as such, and I want to file charges against her
Well, you want
for.
to file a report against.
Correct. In support of charges being prosecuted against her.
Okay.
Right. So I want an incident number for the report. I'd like your card, and this is for you. I have tons of copies of all this. These are exhibits supporting the statements that are made and the exhibits received as part of the discovery going through my case.
Okay. Well, let me get you some. Let me get your business card first. And somebody said it was Henry, so I apologize.
No, that's all right. Yep. And I talked to Sergeant Lee Perry. He took the complaint against the officers who were colluding to write frivolous and perjurious police reports. And so I did that earlier this week. He said to come over here. So I don't have the CF numbers yet, but I did file the officer complaints.
You filed the complaint.
Correct, right.
Earlier today, or sometime.
Yep.
It's been done. It's been
Yep.
documented.
So the officer complaints are all set.
Okay.
This is just the criminal complaint against the city official.
And she is the city attorney.
Yes, Hydee Feldstein Soto.
Okay. Give me. Let me grab your business card. And you said these are being submitted.
Yep. So these are all copies for you. These are
To go
all
with the crime report.
right. Yes, correct.
Give us a minute.
Yep.
Y se marcó el número ahí de vuelta y sí sale que es una administración de una liquidez de business. Parece que dieron la ley, ¿por qué no quería venir?
Que dieron el arresto, dijo que, dije, no estoy trabajando, dijo que yo te mandamos por ti. Y yo sé que ustedes no hablan. Por eso vine a ver, que, pues, y como trabajo aquí cerca, pues puedes más seguir.
Hay marcar la historia ahí, dice,
Sí.
De hecho, yo ahorita no tengo algo.
Sir, have you been in contact with the Inspector General's office at all?
Actually, yes. So I served them the same copies of the letters, and I attended the police commissioners for the last 2 weeks now, and I spoke to about 4.
I'm just trying to make sure that there's no report with the Inspector General's office yet.
That I'm not sure of. I spoke with them. I'm not sure whether that means they generated some sort of ID number for reports on their end, but
Give you one.
they did not give me any such number.
Sounds good.
Pues es ahí no marcaron.
no, sale de una perdón.
Como que le dieron mucha prioridad que ahora están más.
Son esas dos.
Ellos, básicamente, donde yo estaba, ellos fueron y me golpearon. Y de ahí ellos me traen con el tal video que me traen arrastrando. Porque yo ahí les digo que llamen a la policía. Yo ya estaba de acuerdo porque yo sabía que eso había sucedido ahí en la pelea con mi pareja. Y ellos me agarraron a golpes ahí y me llevaron. Pero ya la policía le estaba tomando los datos ahí a la persona. Ahí fue donde, hasta allá fue donde ellos me llevaron, me Todo eso es policía.
Ok, gracias.
Los detectives le van a llamar y le van a decir, ven, necesitamos hablar con la persona. Le van a dejar un voice message, pero no va a dar una grabación.
No estoy seguro si le digo que
¿Cuántos no nada? No, yo creo que es fatal. No, te digo, vamos, vale más checar en persona y pues yo no hago. ¿Cuántos escuchamos?
se voltearon bastante de aquí.
¿Tiene su ID?
No estaban en el derecho, como de los viajes y entonces los policías están para detener a la persona.
Y de mayo 16 a este día, a hoy, necesitamos a para...
Es que ocurre que al darme el cambio haciendo muchos estudios con el cáncer y durante la detención de todo y con unos estudios no me sentía yo bien, la verdad, y la situación como
Yeah, just put that. Just put it on. She that you met with me. She knows that she's outside and she's just like searching. That was it. Yeah, you can come back to me. Yeah, anytime you look. It's easy.
No, ¿cómo se llama? Estoy en verde. Nombre, apellido. Gerardo Pucho, acabo de salir de la cárcel de 17 de mayo. Sí, apenas salí. Entonces, me peleé con mi mujer. 29, 24, 70. Vamos, ya, todo. No, yo creo que lo estaba antes. Sí, fue así de 87.
Sí, se llama Sal. Ahora Gabriel.
2001. Sí. No, por la, ¿cómo se llama? No. Sí, como ahí en el, antes del 90 y tantos. Ajá, un cigarro de marihuana y por eso me arrestaron y tuve que pagar por fianza para salir. No, no era para allá. Después un 20 días. Entre 20 y 25 por ahí. A lo mejor me cambié el nombre.
Look at that. 3 o'clock, man. It's already 3 o'clock. And like 50 other things to do today, too.
Here, are you kidding?
Sí,
¿Cuál es su verdadero nombre?
Gerardo Cruz Solís.
Ok, Alejandro.
Gerardo Cruz Solís.
Gerardo.
Ese es mi verdadero nombre. Pero ese es el verdadero nombre que aquí tengo.
No, I just started it.
Febrero, ajá.
There he is. Oh, hold up. No. Come on. What a legend.
No, ok, le agradezco mucho.
No quería venir a ver que todos querían, digo, vamos, no quería venir, digo, vamos a ver. Vale más venir en persona que no.
No, pues es de lo que estoy tratando.
No tratando, tiene que ser.
Ok, gracias.
Buenos días, ¿qué tal?
Habías tratado.
I think tomorrow we only have. Well, actually, while we do that, that guy. Was him. So he's a Detective 3. 37452. Elbin, Detective Elbin. Yeah, it's a pretty good salary, man. Pretty good salary. Pretty good.
Ready? In the morning.
Oh, you went? You went?
What happened? And she said, go here, take a picture, and then down.
Here? Central?
Yeah, I'll show her. You can, I don't know which one the address.
I don't think it's here.
Not here?
No, fingerprints, we don't do fingerprints here.
Except for, she said so, Chinatown.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, no. Downtown or Chinatown?
Downtown.
Where was it?
Hey,
But I live in the Chinatown.
really? So where did it tell you to go? I don't think it was here.
It's not here?
I don't think so. You got an address? No address?
I don't know. Maybe go for the Chinatown?
Go give some support to the event. I'll be there. Probably be talking about Hydee while I'm there, so there's the link. Yeah, I was like, I think she has the link up, so there's the link for Audit's fundraiser. Somebody said it'd be quicker to join the force. That's true, man. That's true.
Firestone. This in here?
I've been thinking of Shirt Guy, and I know he's getting close enough to graduation soon, where eventually he'll be he'll be shipped off to whatever agency needs him. He's getting close to it. He's getting very close. And honestly, I worry for him. As stupid as he is, he has zero guts, and they're gonna make an example out of him really quick. And I know he doesn't want to acknowledge that, but it's true. Shirt Guy is in a prime position to be bullied and hazed in his time in the force, and they're gonna brainwash him, guaranteed. Hopefully all the critical thinking that we've helped him develop in all this time will help him not fall into that trap, but so we'll see though. We'll see. I'm just waiting for the detective, yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I've been here a while. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm new to this, so my ex, passed away.
Okay,
who
good.
knows, he's giving it
Witchcraft.
I just want to clarify, sir, your note here indicates complaint, people interchangeably use complaint with police report.
Police report complaint, correct. That's exactly what I mean. It's
The complaint is handled by internal affairs, which you've already done.
right. So I want to make the crime
You wanna
report
make the crime
particularly. Yeah.
report.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Maybe how long?
girlfriend, but he's like, I'm the only family friend that
Oh, I'm actually surprised we still got 70% battery. That's crazy. Yep, 70% battery, man.
yeah, I'm sure he's like, somebody's like, okay, thank you. Yeah. All right, cool.
Because they don't know what about laws and shit like that. They're fucking talking, sometimes it's fucking boring as shit. Fucking take our fucking job, my fucking mom's killed somewhere for fucking $100 the fuck is that? I fucking work my fucking ass off for shit like this. To waste! They got fucking houses on my fucking name. Fucking all that shit. I got fucking millions and millions and millions out there. They don't want to give them to me still? The fuck, you think I'm a child still or what? No, because you're using that as a fucking, you think, that I fucking wanted to have my fucking stomach, you're using it as an excuse. I can fucking take out money anytime I want. You just fucking want to block that shit. It's fucking be funny.
Down the street here on Fifth and yeah. You worked at the Los Angeles Mission? No, oh my God. I mean, maybe, I'm just saying if there was nobody, what would happen? If he had nobody. Oh, shit.
I would think so.
Get breathers.
Welcome to Central. Y'all don't know, I'm about to show you outside after too, man. I'll show you guys. Welcome to Skid Row. This is the area that I've been hanging out for a long while since I've been back. You guys don't know the real downtown. Ain't nobody done any real reporting on downtown. I'll show you guys some of it though. I'll probably go on other of my channels, but I'll show you just for a bit. Once I make the report, I'll probably cut my film the police one, and then I'll show you guys on my this main one, just so you can see. It looks worse than the third world country, man. Cool scooter.
Thank you so much.
Here, I'll move out of your way. You got some space.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think my bank should do it. I think this is better than this effect. I think because they took the money, and I'm trying to find out what my money bought. And they're trying to push it on to being paid.
Yep, agreed, man. It's all a giant criminal racket. Programs hiding behind homelessness initiatives designed to steal tax dollars. That's what it is. Yeah. It's because all the different industries, you got to remember, there's everything in California. There's tech, there's oil and gas, there's biotech, there's medicine, there's entertainment, there's research. Literally every industry is at the very least here, just in LA County alone, right? So there's.
No, I cannot. It belongs to an agency. Sir, take it right now. No, I can't take it. That's why. Take it. Take it with you right now. And do what? And do what? Yes. I'll help you with it right now. It's better for me if I take it with me, you're saying? Yes. Because I don't want to throw it in the trash. It's a laissez-passer that belongs to an agency overseas. Like I said, political, background for it. Listen to me. Yes. Okay. Wait in line. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it outside, sir. Thank you. I'm not forced to leave it here. Because don't leave stuff on the table.
Okay, thank you. Are you still doing it right now? Okay, thank you. Thank you, that's all.
Anyway, I hear you. I hear you. I'm just want to see my thing. Take a call. I just want to go after that. Absolutely.
No, this gentleman, sir. ¿A dónde está parqueado? Okay. All right. So,
Yep.
so I discussed this with two lieutenants actually.
Okay.
Just now. What we're gonna do, sir, is we're gonna refer you to the state bar. We're not gonna take a criminal report against the city attorney. You're gonna be referred to the state bar to file any complaints about many misdoings by the city attorney's office or the inspector general's office, which you've already told me you've met with somebody there or you've initiated complaints.
So I'm just curious about the lack of the crime report. You can take a crime report, whether or not you do anything with it is totally up to
We
you.
don't take a crime report just to take a crime report, though.
So it was at the basis for the determination for not taking the crime report?
Well, there's an entity, the city attorney's office.
Right.
You're indicating that the city attorney herself maliciously prosecuted you, yes?
As one of many charges, correct?
Okay,
Right,
Okay.
which is a criminal violation, which is,
that's what you, that's your
That's-
estimation, sir.
right, that's why I'm here to file the criminal report, and whether or not your office does anything with it is outside of my hands, but it's your duty and it's my right to file it,
Okay.
and whether or not you do anything with
We're
it
not,
is
we're not
at your
gonna take
behest.
one. I'm gonna direct it to the inspector general's office and the state bar to file your complaints.
So, that part I understand, I just want to make clear, what's the basis for not taking,
What's
The crime
basis
report.
For a crime report?
no, not taking the crime report?
What do we need to establish a crime report? That a crime has occurred?
That's not up to me. I'm not law enforcement. My duty, right, and my right is to simply file the grievance, and then whether or not you act on it is off of my hands.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this is my information here, Detective 3, Quintanilla 37452. And then in the back, I indicated, essentially, you responded to the station and you were requesting a crime report,
I guess I have to.
naming the city attorney as the suspect in a malicious
So I was just
prosecution.
driving and the car hit me from behind.
You
sped
referred
off.
to the state bar and Inspector General's office, IG's office. I ran out of space around the card. That's the best I can do for you, sir. If there's
I
anything else
tried
that I
to do
can
it
help with?
online, but.
So you're not, so I just want to make clear again,
taking the crime
you're not taking the crime report. Now, you personally are not taking the
Right
crime
now, my
report.
head's pretty much right.
So,
I was
let me talk
parked.
to somebody else.
I just told you, I met with the lieutenant, both lieutenants.
Which ones? I want their serial numbers.
Well, I don't have the serial number. I can give you their names.
I want their serial numbers.
I'm gonna have to find it for you.
Yep, I want their serial numbers.
Can you pull up, email? Yeah, just like, you're gonna email. Yeah. Mathis? Lieutenant? Yes. 30400? And, yeah, and then, stuff. All right, sir.
All right, sir.
Lieutenants Mathis and Stelter.
Okay, great.
Those are the serial numbers.
Okay, now
sir.
I want to file a
Yeah,
complaint
like,
on
basically, like, if
Mathis,
about
Stelter, and
any
yourself
kind of
for
like,
denying me my
Okay, that you'll
do
have
right.
to meet with the watch commander for.
Yep. So I want to file a complaint on you guys.
All right, let me check with, Central Traffic, they're supposed to be closed today.
Okay.
They're the ones that handle any traffic reports.
Okay.
So let me see if there's someone in there, and I'll get back to you.
All right, thank you.
One second.
Yeah, because I can't like change it afterwards, right? Like if it turns out that I actually have something.
You follow up with them.
Okay.
So, you go to the interview, right? So you do that report, so then you get, and then you get back to you.
Okay.
That's when, you could tell them, hey, you went to the doctor, and had an injury. Did you go to the doctor?
No, it just happened 2 hours ago.
I'm gonna show you.
No, but I mean, it's, I'm assuming
So that's
pain is
the main guy.
Okay, let me go in there and see, because we're supposed to be close to this.
Okay, confirm it.
And then he allegedly talked to these 2 other lieutenants. They don't want to generate that instant ID and have her name attached. That's what it is. They don't want that name generated internally with an instant ID and build a rap sheet. That's why. That's what it is. Yeah, watch commander is gonna come out.
He said, throw the report in like that.
Okay.
But on the narrative side,
So watch commander is gonna take my complaint.
whatever you're feeling, anything like that, and when, if you want to get that by a doctor, even better.
Okay.
When they get a hold of you, kind of tell them, hey, I did go to the doctor.
So just out of curiosity, so I was able to chase them down and get the what's called the license plate number before they
You can put that on.
sped off.
Yeah.
Is that it just for that and like a picture of the car?
Yeah. I don't know if you could upload a picture, but I can.
I can't wait to talk to Sergeant Perry.
Upload the picture or.
Tell him what's what.
Okay.
You know, after the incident.
It's all good. I'm gonna file an online police report anyway, so
Okay.
So.
no matter which way, they're gonna have a report.
My name is Dave Padilla.
I'm not even mad, really. I mean, I suspected something like this would happen. I just wanted the dude to say for himself. That's what I keep saying. You guys don't understand how LA is, man.
Okay, perfect. And then when I generate the report online, will I have something that I can send to the insurance company? Because that'll be the
Yes,
next talk. Okay.
yes, most definitely. How bad was that?
I mean, the bumper was pretty much totaled. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else with the car, so I mean, I guess I'll have to talk to the mechanic about it.
So you don't need to, right?
No, I know exactly what I'm going.
Any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, you take care.
All right, thanks. Take care.
I want that CF number, boy. I want the CF number. CF number of containing all their names.
Cuando tú me quieres yo detenido, quiero hacer el récord
Well, let's see what we got. We got behavior unbecoming of an officer and denying my constitutional right to redress my grievances with the government. And then a year from now, we have determined that because we said so, that in fact that detective was totally fine in denying you your constitutional right to redress your grievances with your government. And so therefore it's in policy.
¿Quieres checar mi nombre? Mire, por ese motivo. Esto, quiero enviarme el récord.
Yep, that's exactly what it is, man.
Yo soy seguridad y yo estaba en un lugar.
Guarantee this is the first time I've ever seen somebody step in and say, I want to file a crime report against a city official. That's alright, like I said, the crime report will be taken. There will be an incident ID generated containing Hydee's name, as well as the names of all the other co-conspirators. There will be an official report taken. It will exist. There's 100% guarantee that will happen. The only thing they're doing is showing how stupid they are. And there's a public record of it now. I mean, I keep saying you can't make this up, bro. You really can't make any of this up.
Estuve detenido y luego me estuve en la cárcel.
Ok, se lo arrestaron.
Sí.
Ok. ¿Y usted lo que quiere de ese arresto es qué?
El récord, porque estuve detenido.
Eso aquí no se lo van a dar a usted. Tiene que... He was arrested.
Definition, yeah, I agree, man. It is it is quite literally the definition of insanity. Quite literally.
Eso aquí en el departamento policial no lo hacemos. Antes era Sacramento. So I told you, he just wants his restroom. Yes, so it used to be Sacramento.
Well, don't worry. I'm gonna go back to the police board of police commissioners and talk about this. For sure. There's guaranteed that'll happen. I mean, the only thing he's looking for is to get a rise, you know, to get me to say something stupid. He was asking me to make a determination on whether a crime had occurred, and I just answered quite simply, that's not in my wheelhouse. That's on you. That burden falls on you. That's all they're looking for, man. They're just looking to get you all riled up, looking to get an emotional response out of you. It's like my closest friends and seeing their kids grow up, you know, it's worse than 5-year-olds, man. It's I mean, it literally reminds me of some of the temper tantrums my best friend's kids throw when, you know, it's stupid. Some guy just streamed from the Buffalo org. Oh, dope, man. Tell him if you see them, tell him to talk to the restaurant owner just across the street. I forget the dude's name, but he's a cool guy. He's been there for about 20 some odd years, and he has all the names of all the people inside the org, and he gave me some solid info. He's a chill dude. So if you ever see them, Amy, just let them know.
Yo estaba adentro. Fui al baño, cuando miré la cámara.
He said why he run off. So that's what I asked him too. I just asked him to simply repeat it. He said we don't want to.
No.
That's what he said. So that's what he said, which is great. I mean, I just wanted to see what he would say, and I wanted to make sure that he repeated it. And so, what else can I do, you know? Other than record him being an idiot and saying it. So that's what he said, bro. He said that we don't want to. Go to the bar instead and go to OIG. Amy says he took the stream down and had comments disabled. Oh, that's weird. You mean the streamer, Amy? As in this Reggie guy or whatever took the comments off? Is that what he did, Amy? Or are you saying the video was posted by like a Scientologist and then they deleted that video? Oh, the streamer. Oh, okay. Oh, that's so they took the stream down and then disabled the comment. Oh, it was on kids mode. I wonder if they just didn't know what the hell they were doing. I wonder if it's a new person and they don't know. Because nowadays it makes you select the target audience, and so it won't let you actually go live until you select the target audience. But he probably thought that if he said no, then it would filter his stream out. But it will still show your stream to people under 18. There's another button that you have to click that says, you know, no, your video is not made for kids, but you're you want it to not be limited. It was oh, so holy crap. So the streamer, Amy, are you saying the streamer had a stroke? Is that what happened? The guy that was live streaming ended up succumbing to a stroke? Jeez, that's terrible, man. Yeah, that's terrible, Amy. Holy crap. I hope they're alright. Oh, he recovered? Alright, cool. Well, whoever they are, I hope they're back. I hope they figure out how to live stream it again. It sounds like that's what he did, where he probably chose the button to accidentally put it in kids mode, because he probably thought if he didn't, then it would be limited. But older man, okay, yeah, so I guaranteed it sounds like that's what he did. He probably fumbled around with technology and, you know, messed up. I mean, it happens. I've done dumb stuff like that too. I think one of my first ever live streams, when I was using my laptop, I cut the comments off and I didn't know how to do it. Oh, nice. Yeah, you know, the weird thing about the New York City org is they're like in the heartland, but there's no foot traffic through that org at all. It's weird. so weird. Of all the orgs you would imagine that would be the most active, right? You would imagine Chicago, LA, of course, obviously Clearwater, and then of course New York City, just because it's, you know, New York City. But that's not the case, as you've seen. The main cities are more or less dead. Oh, he was inside Blue? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, guaranteed the reason why he took the stream down from Blue is because they're going to try to catch him on a two-party consent charge. Yeah, guaranteed that's what he did. They're probably going to pull all of the old thing they did to Cubs. You know, Cubs had his entire life ruined from the shit that happened to him. I mean, first of all, his lawyer was a POS. The basis for Cubs being able to videotape was, first of all, the hallway in which he was accessing was a publicly accessible hallway, and he was invited into the premises. So it's not like they didn't know. And from what I believe, too, it was one of their publicly scheduled tour events. Yeah, of course, because of course they did. Criminal defense lawyers in Boston and in LA are all trash. They're absolute trash. It's unfortunate, but it's what it is. It's just what it is, you know? Somebody said just go to the FBI. Oh, believe me, man, it'll be next, but it's not going to be the LA office for the FBI. It'll be another field office. LA field office for the FBI is trash. They're not going to do anything. They're probably going to reject me from even making the report in the first place. From even being able to talk to a field officer. I haven't forgotten. Why do you think these guys don't get prosecuted for criminal charges by the FBI? It's a PC. It's a criminal violation. It's not a civil. It's the conspiracy also. It's conspiracy. The conspiracy part is what makes it criminal, which is what I was trying to explain. Which was what I was explaining to him. It's the whole conspiracy. That's the criminal aspect. It's a Bain Act where you have government entities colluding and conspiring to commit crime. And the government entities, of course, being the LAPD, aka law enforcement, and the prosecutor's office. Besides, either way, it's a crime. It's a crime. And the city attorney's office also has full authority to prosecute misdemeanor crimes. Yeah, but even with the Bain Act, the city attorney's office has direct authority to prosecute such cases. It's fully within the city's discretion. Yep. So that's the whole point of the police report, right? The whole police report is simply just it's just a complaint, right? doesn't matter that it's called a police report or crime report. It's just a complaint. That's all a police report is, just a complaint letter. Police officers are nothing more than clerks. And they're supposed to take the filing just as the court clerk, just as the city clerk. They take the filing, they give it a document number, an incident ID, and then that makes its way through the channels of communication for eventually being transferred over to the city attorney's office for consideration of prosecution.
Se mandó para acá, ellos para acá mandaron, o sea, la oficina mandó para acá.
Well, he can't take the complaint. Another one of his colleagues did, needs to. So him and the two lieutenants can't take the complaint.
Es que en la corte ya fuimos y no aparece ningún, el abogado quiere que
So.
esa de la que dice lo que.
No, o sea, no.
Una que dice lo que es. Andamos a ocupar como, entonces que regresamos a corte y nos dijeron que.
Somebody else that's not them has to take the complaint. And dude is trying to hide. He's like, I'll give you their names. I'm like, how about you give me their serial numbers? How about that?
Para que puedas quitar eso de que estuviste detenido, supuestamente.
Para que no para que voy a renovar mis permisos del guardia, parece. Sí, porque igual no llegaron todo eso.
It's part of the game, man. It's just how it is, you know. They're gonna give you the runaround. But everybody got a copy. It's like Oprah Winfrey. You get a complaint later. You get a complaint letter. Everybody has a copy of the complaint letter. And now they're gonna have a copy of this video clip of the, what's his name, Albinon, something like that. What's this guy's name? And his name is Albon or something like that. And at least we have the names of the other, you know, the other shitheads who, you know, we've got these two guys. So that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point of why we do this. We have the names of two other safe-pointed people, right? The names of two other safe-pointed people. Which is exactly what it was the whole purpose of my case. To see who is the detective. That's two more names. Well, technically three. You got the detective's name too. That's three more names of people to add to this whole grand conspiracy. Right? Three more names. this guy up to?
No hay, no responden, no está.
Boom, we got dual chargers, baby. Both phones charging.
Ahí le dejo para estar conmigo si parece, ¿no? ¿Está? Una pregunta, bueno, los servicios que tú vas a salir por esto del guardia. No, apenas voy a mandar la aplicación.
Worst case, I'll give about another couple more minutes if they come out. If not, I'll just go back to the headquarters and file my complaint. I just wanted to give it a shot, do everything.
No, 6. Manrique su hijo. ¿Sí creen que ahí mejor? No, ya salió.
I'll give it about 10 more minutes.
Pero sobre esto que por lo que vine, si va a proceder algo.
Sí, porque voy a dar la arma por eso. Ya me las hace mi licencia de armas. Y luego ese Sacramento así, porque eso llegó de Sacramento a la ropa. Yo lo mandé a pedir a Sacramento. Saqué mi huella y mandaron todo.
Oh, no, 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 no. Change my mind. I'll give it about another 2 minutes. I don't want to be here all day. Already proven a point. I like even numbers though. I'm gonna give it to 2 more minutes. I was watching The Departed yesterday. Great movie, man. One of my favorites. Such a great movie, bro. Departed is such a great freaking movie.
Yes, sir. I spoke to some officers down the street, 3 officers in the car. The man in the back seat, the man in charge, told me to come to this desk and to ask you to speak to the captain. To speak to the captain. Yes, sir. And that's what he told me to do. I spoke to some officers out here last night. They were stationed out here to watch the cars.
You gotta watch The Departed. It's a good story. Alright, I'm out of here. I spent enough time. Go file my complaints on these guys. Back when I'm at the headquarters station. I'm glad I got the incident though. That's all I wanted to get. It's on video. It's recorded. And trust me, we got a bunch more copies where that came from. Printer has been busy. So alright, I'm gonna cut off the other channel one.